I believe I can fly better than I did last night. That was a really fucked up flight. I almost crashed, but it was all right. Welcome back. Welcome back, all my fine aviation enthusiast friends. Welcome back to the best damn airplane show you're gonna see on Saturday. That's right. As long as mine's the only show you watch. As long as my show is the only show you watch, it's gonna be the best show you see today with airplanes flying. That's right. So we're gonna take a real flight today. And we're going to fly from Miami to St. Martin. It's American Airlines flight 1136. It just left from Miami just maybe like 45 minutes ago. So let me first check if there's any updates. I don't think there's any updates. No updates. Okay. So this plane, I got my termination papers from JetBlue last night because of the idiot go around that I did. So I had somebody, this guy Penguin Ice, I think. Anyways, he was chatting and he was like, "You should do a touch and go." So I was like, "All right, I'll do a touch and go." So I did a touch and go, and I touched down and we got back up, cruised up to 3,000 feet. We got the gear up, the flaps set. We were good. And I circled for about a half an hour, trying to get lined up again with runway 31 left at JFK Airport. And I kept on seeing these two runways, and I could have sworn those were the correct runways. I was lining up to the wrong runways the whole time, which is why I couldn't get everything lined up properly. We landed. It wasn't a problem landing. We landed by hand, just using the glide scope icon just to make sure we were at the correct height, and then we just kind of flew it in just visually. But yeah, so let's change airplanes because we're going to be flying the PDMG 738 today. And let's see here. Let's get the American Airlines liveries. Hopefully everybody's having a good Saturday. My Saturday's off to an excellent start. Went out to breakfast with my son, which we never really do. There's this little spot near our house that we just they do have Sunwing. I was looking at a flight from Toronto to that is a cool looking plane, man. Jesus. That's cooler looking than the American Airlines one. I like the little winglets that come down at the bottom. Anyways, we were looking at we went to this breakfast spot near our house, and we never really go there. And it was awesome. They have such good breakfast. Man, I love the way these winglets look on this plane. We'll try to find a Sunwing flight to do next time. I'll have to remember Sunwing. I don't really know where they fly. I know they were flying to where we're going today, but all right, so let's go ahead and put American Airlines back. Which one is this? Is this one with the TWA? Oh, that's United Airlines. Okay. All right. We got American here. All right. Very good. All right. So let's go ahead and here. Let's make sure everything is still live. We'll do it live. All right. Let's go down to Miami. And this thing took off runway 8R, but it was on gate D. 48 was the gate. So there's Opalaka. Here's Miami. All right, let's zoom into details. And let's see if, no. All right, set as departure. All right, let's see if we can find D, what did I say? D48. Probably this one here. Let me look at the airport diagram. That's probably D right there. Try to be as real-like as I can when I do these. On course D. Yep, okay, that's good. That's the correct. All right, so let's take off from there. And let's get into this. I don't think I need to set anything up in this airplane. It should still be cold and dark with the GPU hooked up. It should still have all the settings saved because it's American Airlines. This particular airplane, you can save the setup to the livery that you're flying. That way, whenever you fly that livery, it'll have your settings. There's a bunch of settings you can do in this airplane. All right, very good. Ready to fly. All right, doors open. We got to get the jetway connected. All right, I like setting up everything on this one here. Let me just run through the menu options real quick, just to make sure that everything is still. All right, fail OP, yep, that gives us the 3 buttons. Fail OP gives us these 3 buttons here, and it gives us the availability to do a Category 3 landing. But we're not going to be doing that today because you can't do it at this airport. All right, let's see here. All this looks okay still. Still no tablet on this plane. At some point, I guess they will bring the tablet out for this plane, but new radio panels. Yep, it does have the new radio panels. All right, this looks like everything is set up correctly. Now, one of the guys that's been watching my channel wants me to start activating failures. So let me see if I can do that. Let's do service-based failures. Let me turn it off for today. Let me read more about it and figure out exactly how that works. I think service-based failures is just what it sounds like, but let me leave it off for today. And okay, and all right, we're good there. So let's go to actions. All right, and we are going to call the trucks over and do all that. So the fuel for today is 97.84. So let's set this to that for now. And let's empty the payload. All right, very good. Let's go to ground services. We got that connected. Let's get, all right, release the stairs. And we want to have the jetway. Let's see if, all right, those are moved now. Now let's see if we can get the, very good. The door should open automatically, I think. Yeah, giving our plane a nice little kiss. All right, let's open the doorway. All right, actually, let me use, well, I was going to bring the mouse out and use the mouse, but this is fine. It's just when you use the controller, you have to double click everything. Yeah, let me get the mouse. Hang on a second. It's a little easier with the mouse. When you use the, oh, did I just turn my computer off? I hope I didn't. Oh no, everything's okay. Jeez. Okay. Oh, I just turned the sound down. Okay, very good. Jesus Christ! I thought I turned my computer off. When you use the mouse on here, you just have to click everything once. But when you use the controller, it makes you double click everything, which is kind of stupid. But whatever. It's, you know, Microsoft Simulator. I'm kind of used to things being a little stupid. All right, let's get the mouse. Get something to mouse up on. All right, let's go return. And let's come up here again. And now we're going to go next. All right, target fuel is 9784. Let's do that. Let's request the fuel truck. Our total passengers today is 126. So let's do that, 126. That. We can start loading them in. Here, and make sure my sound is still on. One second. One second. Start loading them in. Okay, yeah, we're good. Okay. When I hit that button on my computer, I just wanted to make sure that I wasn't that I didn't like disconnect anything. I mean, everything looked like it was still connected, but I just wanted to double check. All right. And for our payload for cargo, we have 3,100 kilograms. So let's put 1,000 up front. Let's call over these trucks. And we'll put 2,100 in the back. All right, and let's click that and click this. See here, we can start fueling. All right, very good. So that's all done there. Let me turn the mouse off. So we got the fuel truck pumping away. And let's go back to this screen here. That way when the trucks get connected, they will go ahead. All right, very good. Let's turn the battery on. Turn on some ground power. All right, anti-collision lights. Let's get this lined up. And we go to nav. Good. Screens should kick on momentarily. All right, let's come over here to actions and get the trucks to start loading everything. All right, he's still connecting. Let's turn on some panel lights. Everybody's having a good Saturday. All right, very good. Now we can start loading here. Enter IRS position, very good. All right, let's do that. Let's go to the next page. On this. Back of screen, set that. That should be correct. Let me check the OFP. 25. Yep, that is correct. All right, and we can start loading here. Now, if you want to bypass this part with the loading and you just want to do it without the trucks showing up. Go to, like, for fuel. Go to fuel. Type in exactly how much fuel you want. Come over here to services now. And then go to the fuel page and just type in what you want. And then you'll be set. Then you don't have to worry about calling the trucks. It's the same deal with the passengers and the cargo and all that. It's the same principle. You just go back to these pages here, plug in what you want, and then match it in, you know, the different sections here, and then you'll be fine. So, all right, let's go ahead and set up our route. Let me get the mouse going again, because the mouse is definitely a bit easier to use than this. All right, so let's go to route. We have KMIA. And we got TN, CM, TN. If you hear some weird babbling and talking in the background, I apologize. It's my son. He is online right now. He thinks it's funny, but it's, I don't know. Maybe the people he's talking to think it's funny. All right, and we got 1136. Is our flight today. Very good. Let's go to departure. We're taking off from runway 8 right. And we are doing the KL88-2. So let's go to the next page. We have KL88-1. I guess that's close enough. And we got BitTac. That's correct. Okay, no problem. Sure, there is an altitude constraint. No problem. All right, let's go back to route. Let's go to activate. Execute. Let's go to the next page. And then from KL-ADA, we are doing, where did the flight plan go? Y290. What? How's it invalid? That's the... Man. Hang on, let me... That is the correct airway. I don't know why it's not letting us put it in. And if I can't put this airway in, this is going to be a... All right, let's go to... Go to IFR high on Navigraph. See if they have a different name for the highway. No, that's what it's called. Let's try it again. Y290. All right, well, that's going to put a crinker on things. That's the highway we're supposed to be taking to Haggett. Let's see if we can... Maybe we just can't take it from BitTac. Let's try putting in the next waypoint on this highway, which would be EAARR. Let's try that. And maybe I can take the highway from there. Okay, now let's try Y290 and see if it'll let me do it. Wow, still won't let me do it. All right. Well, I guess we'll just have to plug in some waypoints then. RNDLY. shame that I can't plug in the highway. That makes setting up this airplane a whole lot easier. A whole lot quicker, too. RNDLY2. Agate. Hagit. Hagit. Right, and then from Hagit, we are taking. Still doing Y290. Yeah, it doesn't like Y290 for some reason. I don't know why. See if we can take it from Hagit. Y290. Well, now we can take it. Okay. To Sluggo, I believe, is where we're going with this. We open up the OFP again. Yeah, Y290 to Sluggo. Yes, which is actually the beginning of our arrival today. SLUGO. Execute. Let's go back to. Let's go to arrival, and we are doing the RNAV 10. And our transition, we're just doing final. If we had a transition, it would be Sluggo. Uba, Sluggo. All right, that looks okay. All right, let's go to legs. There's no. It looks okay. Let's check it out on check it out up here. Make sure everything looks okay. Let's come over here to. Come on now. Okay, now we got that. Let's go. Right, step. All right, very good. Everything looks okay there. All right. So now we need to go to descend. Plug in our forecast. And we are cruising at 37,000 feet today, which we will plug in the altitude. We'll plug in the altitude after we load the weights and all that into the plane, because if you do it before, it's going to change the cruising altitude, and you got to change it back. So, all right, so we got 310. 200. We got 100. At 31,000 feet, that's 317.21. 317.21. 20,000 is 36.12. So we have 36. And at 10,000, it's 16 and 10. So 16 and 10. Execute. Very good. If you are connected to a server, or a weather provider, then you can request. We can't do it on Xboxes. We can't download that kind of stuff to the Xbox. So, all right, let's check out our here. So, fuel is done. Okay, that's done. We can get rid of the jetway here momentarily, and all that is done. Very good. Now we can set the weights for our plane. So let's Get rid of the trucks. It'd be nice if they actually like simulated, you know, cargo going into the airplane. All right, so that's all done. Now let's get rid of the jetway and we'll close the door. So to get rid of the jetway, we got to click this button. And to close the door, we got to go back to doors and close the door. So we're all loaded up. Let's put on our fasten seatbelt signs. And let's arm these lights. All right, let's switch this back to regular mode. All right, let's bring the weights over into the airplane. So let's go to init and let's request. All right, let's click load. Very good. Now the cost index is defaulted for 18. We'll change that momentarily. Our flight plan is 95.57 for fuel. So let's do 9.6. All right, and our cost index today is 12. Let's execute that. Let's come to cruise here, and we are actually cruising at 37,000 feet today. So let's do AAL1136. All right, let's execute that. And now let's go back to init page and put in our cruise wind. It's 279.38. Double tap all the buttons, 279. Double tap, I don't really mind sometimes because it prevents you from making a mistake sometimes. And sometimes you click the wrong button, but it's a little difficult to do with the controller because you got to double click everything. So, all right, that's all good. I don't believe there's anything on page 2. Nope. All right, let's go to N1 limit. And let's set it for 30 degrees over that. So we'll set it for 57 degrees. All right, and we will select D-rate takeoff 1. And we'll do climb 1. All right, let's go to takeoff. Now we need to go to this page first. Let's tap on the information of the runway on Navigraph. The slope is 0, so we can put that in first. We have a slope of 0. And the runway winds today are, please hold, 50 degrees at 6 knots. So we have 50 and 6. I always plug this information in first because if you do it second, you'll get the VR speeds and then you may have to, accept new VR speeds. So, all right, our CG is calculated automatically. And we can do flaps 5. That should be okay. Let's see what the V speeds say. Let's do flaps 10 and see if that changes anything. I don't think it will. Hey, Ash, your food's on the table. Flaps 5 or flaps 10? You know, we kind of got a long runway. Let's just do flaps 5. It'll be okay. All right, we got that. QRF off, no QRH is on. All right, that's good. And I believe that's about it for everything. We'll do approach later. Let's set our fix real quick. Let's just do KME at like 25 miles. Mia. And we'll do 25 miles. We'll change the fix when we get closer to our landing. All right, let's check that. Climb is good. 37,000 feet is good. And that is good. All right, we are all good to go, my friends. Let's go ahead and get the APU turned on. So let's come here. Let's put on this fuel tank here. Let's go ahead and get the APU kicked on. Let's see here. Our cruising altitude is 37,000 feet. And our, let's see what our landing altitude is. All right, let's go to the chart here. And landing altitude is like 14 feet, so that's not much at all. So we'll just plug in like that right there. And let's go ahead and get ready for our pushback. All right, APU generator's on. On the yaw dampener. That's all good, that's all good, that's all good. Let's go ahead and turn all these on. All that is good, all that is good. All right, now there's really no way to disconnect here. You can't move this button back. So we'll disconnect the ground power from here. So let's go here. Let's go ground services, and let's release the truck. Make sure our parking brake is on. And we can remove the chocks. All right, let's go back. Let's go to pushback. Let's get our tug set. And we are doing standard turn nose to the right. Turn nose. Right. I always get confused with this. I don't know if it's nose to the right facing this way or right facing this way. We'll try it this way first and we'll see what happens. All right, let's click start.
Cockpit to ground. Go ahead. We've been cleared for pushback and start. They want the tail to our left. Roger that. Ready for pushback. Tail to the left. Release brake, please. Brakes released.
Let's see if I got it right. I always get confused with this. It'll probably help if I turn the bleed on. Nope, wrong way. Damn it. Goes to the left.
Cockpit to ground.
So it's from facing this way, I guess. So when it says nose to the right, I guess you're facing this way. Tug, do you think? Keep on pushing back. Let them push us a little bit farther, and then we'll just kind of make a U-turn. Otherwise, we're going to wind up hitting this gate, I think. All right, that's good. We can stop. Let's turn the tug off. Let's go return. Menu. FMC. Let's put our parking brake back on. Let's kick on this engine. Very good. Let's that generator on. You want auto, you want auto, you want auto. Let's go to oh, 145 plus 15 is 60. Our, let's see here. Runway 8 right is the heading of runway right. It is a heading of 92. Let's plug in 92 here. Very good. Let's turn our flight directors on. Turn VOR off. VOR off. Let's turn on this. Let's set our barometers. So according to Navigraph, it is 30.07 right now. So set that up. That's good. And let's see here. To get out of here, we need to pick up N6 and go to lane M, it looks like. All right. Looking at the runway charts here. All right. Let's get everything finished for takeoff. This goes to RTO. Let's set our flaps to 5. Let's turn on transponder. Now, weather doesn't do anything. It's not modeled, so we don't have to do anything with weather. Very good. I think we're all set. Down just a little bit. Turn this off. All right. And I believe verify takeoff speeds. Sure thing. All right, that's all verified. Let's turn on the center fuel tanks. Turn off the APU. Turn this off. This light on, this light, and our taxi lights. And let's set our altitude to below 16,000. So let's put 16,000 in here. Okay, very good. I don't think there's a takeoff configuration check in here. No, let me see. Is there a checklist? I forget if there's. Oh, there is a checklist. Jesus Christ! Look at this checklist. Wow, we should do this one day. Probe heat, recall, before taxi, ground equipment, engine start, auto brake, before takeoff, flaps. Yeah, I don't see a takeoff check. Ground equipment clear. X auto, yeah, we got all that on. Auto. We should, yeah, we'll do maybe we'll do the checklist next time. I've used it for like turning the airplane off, but never for takeoff. Okay, and that's okay. Well, that's okay. All right, very good. All right, let's go. Let's release the parking brake. Holy throttle, Jesus Christ. All right, we took off from Concourse D. I believe our runway is this is straight ahead. Let's see what this sign coming up says. The one like right over here. You know, that could be correct actually. Now that I'm looking at the map of the airport. We can go on N4M as far as the, track for the runway, to get to the runway. Let me get a little close to this sign and see what it says. Let's see what it says. does that say? Y1? Okay, Y1. Okay. Yep, we're good. We can keep on crossing. I believe that's the fire station. Yep, wrong button. Wrong button. Wrong button. Let's see what this says here. It's N or M. Yep. N. All right, we're good. Very good. Now I know where we are. Right here. There's M right here, so we're good. All right, very good. Very good. Park here for a second. Go ahead and activate LNAV. DNAV. Let's arm the auto throttle. Put our landing lights down. Put our strobe lights on. And I believe we are all set for takeoff now. Oh yeah, we got to put our heads-up display down too. Let's put that down. Our V speeds again are 143, so right, we can move this out to. All right, let's put on data. All right, now we are all set. Release the park and brake. Let's give it a little bit of juice. A little bit of juice. Once we get, whoa, look how, Jesus Christ. All I did was tap the A button to start going, and it put the throttles up to like 70. Jesus Christ. I either have a really heavy thumb or something changed with the last update. It wasn't always like that. Like you could tap the A button and like it wouldn't shoot all the way up like that. All right. All right. Ready for takeoff? Takeoff. Takeoff. All right. Let's set some thrusters. And we can click the toga screw. We have a toga screw in this airplane, so. We're almost at takeoff speed.
Positive rate of climb.
Gear up. We'll lock the gear momentarily. Fly manually for a little bit until we get to about 1,500 feet. Actually, we'll make this turn first, and then we'll turn on autopilot. Very good. All right, let's engage the autopilot. Autopilot is on. Let's lock the gear. Good. We can put our flaps up. Flaps are now all the way up. LNAV, VNAV, everything's good. Bye, Miami. Well, that's cool. It's got an American Airlines on the. Never knew it had it on the top of that stadium before, that arena. Heads-up display away. We'll use that again for our landing, but we're going to change the settings of it for our landing. Let's put you out a little bit. We get to our cruising altitude, we'll speed up this simulator. I have it defaulted for 8 times speed, but we have to use our mouse for that. We can't use the controller for that. We have to use the mouse, so that's what we'll do. We never turn traffic on the map. Turn traffic on. Check the barometer right now, make sure it's still, excuse me, still 30.07. And we have that speed, the high constraint at Clada But after that, we're free to climb to 37,000 feet. Let's turn off landing lights. On button. That one. And we'll leave that on continuous until we get up to a little higher. Let's look at the after takeoff. Engine bleeds on, yep. Packs, auto, right? Landing gear up and off, and no lights for the flaps. Interesting, it doesn't say anything about locking the gear. Oh, up and off, never mind. Okay. We have live weather and live time on right now. This flight in real life is probably pretty close to landing in St. Martin. This flight took off, I want to say, about 10 o'clock Eastern time this morning. Yo, what's up, Turbo? Sorry, I got my laptop like 20 feet away from me, and I'm an old man, so it's a little tough to see the bridge. Hang on a second. See my hands. Yo, what's good, bro? Thanks for stopping by this morning. Put my laptop a little closer to me. It's Turbo. That's a full name. All right, once we cross we might be at 16,000 feet. I mean, we might not be at 16. Oh, no, we're going to get right there. We'll be at 16,000 feet. Okay, no problem. We'll start our climb again once we pass it. I'm so happy I can do this flight today. It's so rare that I can do a flight in the daytime from the United States because of my work schedule. I mean, I can do it anytime, really. I can just, tweak the weather myself and tweak the time myself, but I like doing live weather and live time, as often as I can, so. Okay. This thing up to 37,000 feet. And we passed it, so now we can click VNAV and VNAV again. And now we're back in VNAV mode. And now we will start climbing to our 37,000 feet. And let's go ahead and do... There's a pretty large distance between some of these waypoints. It didn't allow me to enter. So Haggett, these are all part of these two aren't part of a highway. Haggett is part of it's Y290 is the airway. We were supposed to go from our transition from the departure, type in Y290 and take that all the way to our arrival, transition for our arrival, but the system here would not allow me to enter that airway until I typed in Haggett. So, normally you wouldn't have 320 miles between, between waypoints, I don't think, but okay, we got standard pressure. Now I need to use the mouse for this because if I don't, some weird things will happen to the simulator. I'll explain. Hang on a second. Let me click standard here. You see how this is flashing blue right now? When I use the mouse, it works no problem. If I was to use my controller and click that, it will flash blue like this, but very, very rapidly. And it'll keep on switching between standard and the other pressure standard, and it'll just keep on going back and forth. The last time I used my controller for it, it dropped the barometric pressure so much that when I finally got control of that switch again, it put us at we were like 4,000 feet lower than where we should have been. Crazy. I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. No. Fix your bent antenna, tune it in, and then I'm gonna enter in it. It'll be a skinny like a splinter. Center of attention. Back for the winner, I'm gonna rest it. The best thing since wrestling. Best thing in your kids' ears and nesting. Attention, please. Your attention as soon as someone mentions me. Transcends my 2 senses free. You sense, who sent? You sent for me? This looks like a good job to me, so everybody just follow me. We're getting closer. Oh shit. I'm gonna turn off the navigation. I think that's the Bahamas over there. Bahamas are fun, man. I've been there a couple times. Not my favorite place to go, but it's nevertheless still a fun place. Yeah, I don't know why we couldn't enter in the highway. We were supposed to enter the highway at BI, if you're looking at an IFR chart with all the airways, right over the Bahamas is BITAC. And we're supposed to take that, type in Y290 and finish off, at Sluggo, I think. But for some reason, it wouldn't let us enter the airway until we got to, what is it called? Haggett. So. We got 60 miles to the top of our climb. We used a lot of fuel so far. Oh, no, we haven't. Never mind. I'm thinking of last night's flight where it was like 13.2. This was only like 97. I mean, we could always put more fuel in if we need to, but we should be fine. I would be so happy right now if I was actually on this flight. Boy, how awesome would it be just to get on a plane and just go to St. Martin and just kick back in Caribbean islands for a little while, or for the next 40 years. I came close to being able to do that a couple weeks ago, man, or almost 3 weeks ago now. I came very close to winning the Mega Millions here in the United States. It was, I think back then, like $190-some million. Just 2 numbers away, man. 2 numbers away from being at a point where I got FU money. I don't have to worry about any bills ever again. That would be so nice. I'd be such a good rich person. I've always said that. I'd be such a good, I wouldn't be one of these lottery winners that blows through their winnings, in a few years, man. I'd be, with that kind of money, I guess $190 million after taxes, you'd probably get maybe close to $120 million, I would think, maybe. But, I mean, Jesus Christ, you could put that money in the bank, just live off the interest every month. I mean, let's say you got, even if you just got, 2% interest on that, that's still enough money that's still a ton of money. I mean, 2% of $1 million is $20,000. So if you got $100 million in the bank, if you were getting 2% interest, that's like $200,000. Whether that's a month or a year, I can make both work. $200,000 a year is a lot of money. Not as much as $200,000 a month, but you know. Yeah, I know. All right, let's turn off the center fuel tanks. Now that button should go out. Yep. And when we start descending, we'll plug in the runway information into this heads-up display system here. We'll change this from the primary view to, I think it's IR or something view. The next, if you click mode, the next mode is what we'll use. And what that does is it gets rid of a lot of the clutter in the heads-up display, and it makes it so it's more like a landing screen at that point. It just gives you all the info you need for the landing, and it lines the reticle up with the touchdown zone as long as you plug in the height of the runway and how long it is. Let's see here. Do we have any VORs on the way here? Nope. Not at all. Yeah, I like this this updated nav system here. So when you plug in the frequencies, it pretty much tells you if it's a VOR or an ILS. You can change the mode of it, and then you change the frequencies by here, active or standby. So I like it better than the old system. I didn't like it better than the old system at first. It took a little bit of time to get used to it, but I like it now. Now that I've gotten used to it. Man, I've been playing the hell out of Hard Space Shipbreaker. That game, that's like a sleeper game. Like I just downloaded it off the Xbox Game Pass just because it had to do with space, and it looked like it was like an interesting game. Like you take ships apart and things like that. Man, I didn't really like it at first, but now that I've leveled up quite a bit and like I'm getting bigger ships and more things to do inside the ships, like depressurizing and taking apart reactors. Like, pretty fun now. I've been playing a fair amount of the new Train Sim World, but to be honest, I don't like it as much as Train Sim World 2 and 3. Like, it doesn't look like anything's been improved upon. I don't like the choice of the trains as much as I did, in the previous years. But I mean, it's okay. It's still a fun game, periodically. But it's definitely, in my opinion, not as good as what they put out in previous years. I'm still playing Lies of P. That game is still amazing. I'll probably wind up playing that for a while tonight, I think. I do play the power washing simulator game quite a bit. That game I love. It's such a stupid game, but I love that game. For some reason, I enjoy pressure washing things online. I don't know why. And what else am I? Oh, and Forza Motorsport I've been playing quite a bit. I haven't played it in a few days. I guess about a week now. And they got a new tour out right now, this Prestige tour, so it's it's cool. They have some different cars to choose from. All right, once we get up to our cruising altitude, we will go ahead and speed up the simulator. So in order to speed up this simulator, well, first you have to set it up in the settings here. So in order to get to it, if you go to menu, like if you go to the setup menu here, under options and I believe it's under simulation here. Service-based failures I had turned off. Okay. So page 5 of simulation. So I have up to 8 times speed, right? And I have auto time compression on. So if you have both of those on, now you can do, I think it's like 2x, 4x, 6x, 8x, and then 16x. From what I've read with PMDG, they do not recommend you do 16x, so I have it on 8x, and it seems to work really well. I've used it a handful of times now, and it's worked really well. In order to do it, you need to... Oh, here, I'll just show you now. We're at our cruising altitude. Hey, we got 763 miles into it. Okay, so let me get the mouse out. And what you need to do is come over here and click the top of this button here. You see this turns green, and now we are in sped up mode. And I usually stay in speed up mode as long as we're in a straight line. I'll leave it on 8x. But when we start making turns and stuff, you know, I usually turn it off at that point. If you want to set, you know, if you want to have the clock going so you can make sure that it's sped up, you certainly can. But as long as these are in green, and you can also keep track of it by how quickly the miles are ticking down. And you can see these are coming down pretty quickly. I don't usually go outside the airplane during this because I don't know if that's going to mess it up or not. So I usually just kind of stay, you know, in like around this mode. That way I can keep track of everything. Now this is a different increase than the one that Microsoft has standard with the simulator. This one was hand done by PDMG. They spent a lot of time working on it, and they factored in all these different scenarios and, you know, different you know, inputs for the airplane as far as like wind and altitude and speed and all that. They took a lot of factors into consideration. So this has worked phenomenally well every time I've used it. The one from Microsoft has been okay, as long as you don't go, you know, I only go 2 times the speed with the base Microsoft one, just because I don't, well, one I do it because there's no way to know how much you've increased it. It doesn't show. At least in this, you set it from the beginning, and as long as those green numbers are green, you're in that mode. With the standard one from Microsoft, there's really no way of knowing that you're in the mode, you know, unless you can see the mileage clicking down. But at that point, you have no idea how fast you increased it. So you have to remember how many times you increased it. So I only do 2 clicks on the D-pad, and that way I know that I've done it twice. And I only do it 2x. I don't go more than that. That way I don't lose track of, you know, how much I increased it. Your weakness. You did a secret. Okay, just one vice. Okay, it's vodka on ice. Alright, well, let's plug it in while we're... Well, yeah, we'll do it later. I was going to plug in the stuff for the runway and stuff. We'll do that during our descent. We'll just chill right now. We'll just chill. Car is on the highway, so we don't have to worry about disengaging the increase. We just leave it like this. I mean, it would probably be okay making small turns. I just don't want to risk it. Maybe PMDG is kind of factored. I'm sure they factored turns in, but I don't know. Something about banking the airplane at an increased sim speed, just, I don't know. I'm always worried that, it'll bank too quickly and, the plane will lose control. Little turns, no big deal, 5 degrees, 10 degrees, but like anything more than that, I tend to shy away from. All right, so we are getting ready to come up here on a little bit of a turn. So we are going to disengage our sim speed when we get just a little bit closer. And once we make that turn, we'll turn it back on again. All right, so you saw it flash red, now it's white. Now we are in regular speed. one's down there. That's Turks and Caicos. I believe that's Puerto Rico behind us there. Oh, no, that's not. Or maybe it is actually. Oh, no, that's Caicos. That's right, we passed Puerto Rico a while ago. Oh, no, we haven't gotten to Puerto Rico yet. My bad. Puerto Rico's, we can't see it from here. It's down there. We might be able to see it by the time we get to our next waypoint. Get the Talto. Here's our turn. Probably would have been okay with the increased speed, but like I said, I try not to risk it. All right, let's increase our speed again. We got, I think maybe another 10 minutes left of 8x speed. And then we'll begin our descent, and then we will plug in the information for the heads-up display. We'll also plug in the course for the RNAV landing, and we're going to plug in the VOR frequency as well, because I want to see if this plane will do a glide path on the way down. Glide path is like the RNAV version of a glide scope. And we'll see if it does FAC instead of the VOR localizer capture. FAC is like the RNAV version of, capturing a localizer. The same frequency, it's just I don't know. I don't know how it operates differently, but it operates differently than a ILS landing. All right, we got 150 some miles left to the top of our descent. This increased speed, man, makes it a pleasure to do these long flights. That's for sure. I wish that more planes in the simulator had this kind of capability. When we get to about 30 miles out from the top of descent, then we will go ahead and, oh, never mind, actually, we'll be turning it off before then. And Beano, which is the next waypoint right there, we'll turn it off there. Pretty big turn. I'm sure the plane would be fine, but I don't want to risk it. Especially after last night's debacle with Microsoft and the Airbus I was flying last night. If you missed the first 45 minutes of last night's episode, I did a real life flight with JetBlue. And all right, 8X is now turned off. We're now in regular speed. So I did a real life flight with JetBlue last night. And I was using the gate at the Atlanta airport, the same gate that they took off from. And when we were being pushed back from the gateway, our wing clipped some little building, and the simulator crashed and said that we crashed. So I had to start over. So I start over, get everything set back up again, everything set back up again. We taxi to the runway. We start we start rolling to get to takeoff speed, and somehow the plane hit a pothole or something on the runway. We dove nose first into the ground, and the simulator crashed again. So the third time worked. However, the landing leaves something to be desired. I guess if I was a real pilot for JetBlue, I probably would have been fired last night, because we were circling for about a half an hour for no reason. I had a viewer ask me to do a touch and go, so we did. And we went around, and I completely forgot how the runway layout was at New York. I probably should have looked it up, but I was so tired last night when I did it that I didn't even think about it, to be honest. And I'm sitting there, and I think the instruments I thought were broken because it wasn't lining back up with the frequency we had and the course we had programmed. So I was looking at the wrong runway the whole time. So I finally got fed up with circling, and I'm like, look, I can see the runway. Let's just visually land the plane. So that's what we did, and we landed it, no problem. It was a good landing. But the whole time I'm sitting there blaming the instruments that they're not working correctly, and I was looking at the wrong runway the whole time. I was supposed to be landing on 31 right, and I was looking at 4 left the whole time. And I was like, I didn't realize it until we got right up on it before we landed. I was like, oh, man. No wonder. Well, I might as well leave it in this mode. So, might as well leave it. We only got 50 some miles left to the top of our descent. So, let's see here. Let's go back to legs. And, all right, so I guess we'll plug in 2600. All right, so we got 2600. Our course that we need to plug in is 96. plug in a course of 96. Six. 96. And this particular plane, if you're doing any kind of ILS, VOR, RNAV landing where you're going to have a frequency in for nav1, you need to match it on nav2 also. So let's plug in 113, 11300. We'll make that active. Let's do the same thing over here. That's active now. And our decision height for today is 686. So let's set that up. All right, 686. And now let's set up the heads-up display. So let's come here and we're going to click on. All right, now this is the mode I like for landing. Now let's get our runway information. We need the elevation and we need the length. Navigraph has it available. So let's get that up. Okay, the elevation is 12 feet. So let's click on runway. Let's plug in 12. 1, 2, click enter. Now let's go to our length, and it is 7546. So 7546. And now with both of these plugged in, our reticle on the heads-up display one now, it now should line up right on the touchdown zone. Descent, pressure, recall, auto brake, we'll put on landing data. Oh yeah, we got to plug our landing data in and approach briefing. Okay, so let's plug in our landing data. Let's go to init. Let's go to on this. Click on that. And I don't think we need to hit execute, but let's hit it anyways. All right, wind correction plus 5 knots, so it looks like we'll be landing at 140. Or unless that's saying that we have a 5 knot correction already, so. All right, well, whatever, 135, 140, it's close enough. All right, let's go back to program. Progress, I mean. All right. And the only thing left to do is to change the RNP, the required navigational performance. We'll change that to 0.3 as we get closer. I believe that's what it's supposed to be. At least that's what it usually is for most RNAV landings. Sometimes it's 0.1, sometimes it's 0.9. It's usually 0.3 almost though. And our transition altitude is 5,000 feet today. So let's get the METAR information up on Navigraph. Our METAR is not too far off from standard. We never turned off our fast seatbelt sign. Maybe we'll turn them off now. Let people run around for a few minutes before we. All right, my friends, we are all set now. Oh yeah, the only thing I want to do is actually let's do this. So if you put this co-pilot back in map mode, and we click on the center button here, Oh, wrong mode. Hang on a second. We're in map mode. If we click on this center button twice, once, twice, it puts us in this kind of vertical path mode, kind of like the Airbuses have. We'll leave it there, so that's all set now. And we should see the vertical deviation bars start popping over soon. Should start showing up really anytime, since we're getting ready to begin our descent to paradise. It must be just like living in paradise. And I don't wanna go there. That was like one of David Lee Roth's first solo artist songs after the breakup of Van Halen. He was a good showman, David Lee Roth, man. In his prime in the 70s and early 80s, there's our vertical path deviator. There we go, deviation. There we go. Well, thanks for coming to the party, boys. One thing I've noticed on this plane as well, when I use the controller and I mess around with the speed brake, it continually flashes blue and doesn't operate properly. It'll flash blue like this, but very rapidly, and I can't control it. So when I interact with this, I'll interact with it on the side here and, either arm it, go to 50% or, all the way. So hopefully we won't need to play with it too much. Hopefully we'll be okay. We have begun our descent. GNSS required, that's fine. Need to be at 1,700 feet, about 5 miles out from the airport. Next angle, MDA. Oh yeah, let's set up our fix actually. And I'll show you something else too. So, what runway are we landing on today? Runway 10, so let's plug that in. So RW10. All right, and let's do 4 miles. Oops. Let's do 4 miles. Make sure that's a kind of a reminder for our landing gear. And let's do 10 miles for like flaps, 10, I guess, or something like that. So we'll do 10. There we go. All right, so now we got those. Now, what the mode I like to sit on when I'm doing an RNAV landing in this plane, go to progress page, go to page 4. I like it because it'll have the vertical deviation here, what your actual navigation, projection is, and, what the required one is. So once we get lower in altitude and we're not descending so quick, I'm going to move this to 0.3, but we're okay right now. So see any speed constraints with what we're doing right now, so everything looks okay. As Pharaoh said in Aliens, we're in the pipe. 5 by 5. That's probably my favorite movie of all time. That one, Aliens, like the director's cut. I also like 40-Year-Old Virgin, the unrated version. That's like up there as well. That's like my top like 2 or 3 movies. The Hateful Eight is a great movie. I don't know. There's so many great movies, but like my top 2 or 3 is definitely Aliens, 40-Year-Old Virgin, maybe Scarface, but that's so cliche. Scarface, like Scarface and Godfather, like everybody's got those. I like a lot of the Saw movies as well. I could watch those. I love the Hobbit movies, the Lord of the Ring movies. I could watch them anytime. Anytime somebody puts one of those on, I can sit and watch it. We do have a constraint actually at Avaki. See what Avaki. Avaki says 195, and we need to be a max at 230. Okay, that's fine. We got 67 miles to Sluggo. 6, 18. I don't know if that's going to put us at I wonder what altitude we're going to be at Sluggo. Let's go ahead and delete this and see what it says. Oh yeah, that is not good. Well, it might be okay. Let's see what it says for Avaki. Let's delete that as well. Probably should have did this a little sooner, but we can always do a circle. Oh, we're okay. All right, very good. Yeah, we're okay. And let's see here, Mapon. Lesser, we need to be at 1,700 feet. So that one we're going to leave put, because that one we do need to be at, for sure. I mean, if we want to go at a 3%, angle, yeah. All right. Well, let's plug into RN. Well, we can wait to plug into RNP. Wait till we get a little closer. Let's down a little bit. And let's do a speed intervention. Put you down to 240 right now. And maybe that'll help us get to our altitudes when we need to be. Let's see what this says now. Let's click delete. It won't let us do it anymore. All right, no worries. I know you can do it. You do it when it's magenta. I wasn't sure if you could do it when it's in white also, but I guess not. All right, let's put our flaps back to arm. Turn on the parking brake. Also, parking brake. All right, let's plug in the 0.3. So we got 0.3. Switch to, let's do a couple of things here. Let's click this. Let's click approach. Let's move this in a little bit. Usually this here will show the the glide scope indicator and the localizer indicator down here way earlier than it shows on here. So even though our transition altitude is 5,000 feet, if I didn't change it now, this would continue to flash, telling me to do it. So that is why. We can put the seatbelt sides back on, right? And let's change, what altitude are we at right now? 1,000, we can change this. All right, so far so good. So far so good. little high. Let's put a little speed flap in. Shit, my mouth. All right, need some speed brakes. Once we pass Sluggo, we'll go ahead and re-engage the speed mode again, you know, the N1 speed mode. And we'll try it, and if not, we'll do speed intervention again, and what I might do is, let's put some flaps in the game, I think. That'll help keep us slowed down a bit. Bring this down to 1,700 feet. This in a little bit. Where are we at here? Okay, so far so good. I guess we can put on some landing lights now, so this, that, let's adjust this, and let's put on landing lights. Shoot, I gotta pause this real quick. Give me a couple seconds. All right, we're back. Sorry about that. Phone call come in that I had to take. All right, we are doing okay, actually. Go ahead and move this back down. I think, well, you know what? We could probably throw a little bit more flaps in. Yeah, flaps 5 is too much. Okay. We can decelerate to Oh, wait till we get a little closer. We'll leave this how it is right now. I am curious if I click approach, what'll happen. And we have FAC and glide path. Very interesting. That's kind of what I thought was going to happen. So FAC is the RNAV version of like the ILS capture, and GP for glide path is the RNAV version of glide scope. So very interesting. Now, this doesn't give you the option of like a category 2 or 3, like ILS landings. Like we're not going to arm both autopilots with this, but yeah, that's very interesting. That's cool that it did it. All right, let's bring this down to 500. Just in case. Speed-wise, we are okay. Go ahead and slow down a little bit more. See our beautiful island over there. Now, I don't know if this is how they would land in real life with the flaps this early and speed brake and all that, but I'm not a pilot in real life, so I don't really know what the hell they would do. I just kind of know it works for me, and doing this usually works for me. All right, let's put you down to 190. Flaps 5 right now. It's kind of where I wanted to be at 10 miles out, so we are very close. We're going to leave LNAV set and VNAV set. So let's put this back to like 1700, like it requires. We can always drop it back down. Turn this to 96. Yo, Penguin, what's up, bro? Yeah, I decided to do another one today, but I did say in the very beginning I wasn't doing any failures because I actually wanted to land with no problem. So no touch and goes, but I will be doing some shit later with potentially trying to break one of the planes. But yeah, man, what's good? Yeah, we're flying the PDMG 737. Yep, another one. We're almost done, and I'll be back. I'll be back tonight with something where I want to read about the failures on this particular plane because there is a way to set them all up, but I want to see exactly like how it works. So, and maybe play with it once or twice before I actually do it. Yeah, tonight we're going to try to break an airplane. All right, let's slow down a little bit more. All right, FAC is captured. That's the RNAV version of an ILS localizer. So that's good. Some more flaps into the equation. Let's put our gear down as well. Plug in 140, which is our final speed. Yeah, PMDG did a great job with this 737. This is the 800, but they have like a 600, a 900, 700. Yeah, they did a really good job with this. All right, glide path should be capturing momentarily. There's that fake icon like a ILS landing, so should be capturing here momentarily, and that should bring us down to the runway. It won't land the plane for us, but it'll get us damn close. All right, we're at our altitude that we programmed. Let's see if the glide path actually does capture. There we go. Glide path is captured. So now that will bring us down almost like an ILS landing. Speed brake armed. Now it's armed. Okay. Since we programmed in the height and length of the runway here, this reticle should be right at on the touchdown zone. We cleaned up since we're in this mode here. So if you click mode once, it'll put you in this mode here. That cleans up all the shit on the sides of the screens here. So when we're landing, it pretty much just gives us just landing information. Most of the cruising we did was at 8 times speed, which we can do very easily in this plane. Plane is so easy to speed up time, and it works so much better than the base version from Microsoft. Yeah, I try to do as many flights as I can because it's very tough for me to do them during the week. So I try to do as many as I can, like over the weekend, as long as I have time. Oh, we're coming in too hot.
200.
Uh-oh.
Sink rate. Pull up.
Maybe Penguin will get his wish.
Sink rate.
20. 10.
I expected that to land us much better, to be honest. I thought that glide path was going to bring us down a lot closer to where we should have been, but it turned out to be okay. Yeah, you can feel it in the controller on the Xbox. It's pretty wild. It like vibrates, and the more turbulent, the more you can feel it with the thrusters. You can feel it with turbulence, with storms. Yeah, the more violent you can feel it. Yeah, it was still pretty good landing. It would have been better if I didn't pitch the nose up in the air when I was trying to turn off the autopilot. But whatever. It's not real life, so. All right, let's get on the tarmac. Let's see if anybody's there with the glow sticks. Let's see if there's any rave parties happening by the gate. Trying to find the guy with the glow sticks. What's up, boats? Boats and hoes. Boats and hoes. Worldwide entertainment. After JetBlue fired me last night, I walked right across the gate and just I didn't even apply. I just jumped right in the airplane and so this is the same airplane I stole last night from JFK. They're still trying to find it, but I turned off the transponder system, so it's kind of like a ghost ship now, you know, flying around the world. JetBlue was not happy with me last night. Me and my idiot self landing on the wrong runway. For half an hour looking at the runway saying, I know that's runway 31 right. How come the localizer's not capturing? And the whole time I'm looking at it, it's runway 4 left. So I did pretty good. That was pretty good last night. Usually once per flight I say I'm an idiot, and I definitely proved it last night. That's for sure. I might do another snowy type landing deal tonight at Antwerp, because I really want to see if that guy shows back up again with the glow sticks. We might fly like a small plane, like a La Bamba type plane, where we might, I don't know, I might have to save the game midway through, save the flight. We might have to crash it and then just reload the flight. Thinking about doing Lies of P tonight, but I might do that as well. So I think both my kids will be home tonight, so which means like I can't go out and do anything. So I'll probably be home tonight playing video games, which I'm okay with. At 45, I'm okay with sitting home playing video games instead of going out partying. I don't see any glow guys. Still, I say it like every time I pull up to an airport, I still find it hard to believe that it's just one airport in this simulator that does that. It's crazy. Where are like the guys with the glow sticks? Anyways, I guess we're good. There's no guys here with the glow sticks waiting for us. That really sucks. I guess we can shut the plane down. Let's shut the plane down. Let's all right. Whoa, we're still moving. Shit. Oops. Hey. We almost crashed. All right, well, fuck it. We'll leave it like this. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, it does feel like a desert. All right, I'm signing off here. I got to go do some shit around the house. But I will be back tonight, probably doing another snowy flight to Innsbruck. There is an actual flight. There is an actual flight I looked at from Eurowings. I think it's Eurowings that's landing there. So I might recreate that flight. However, I want to put a lot of wind and turbulence and see if I can break one of the planes. No shit. Huh. Maybe I'll try that. I'll just walk to the airport. Park my car and just walk into the airport and just jump in a plane and just start flipping the buttons that I know what they do. So I'll try that. I'll try that thing. When if you read about some overweight white guy from Baltimore getting arrested for trying to jump in an airplane, then I took your suggestions. I'll be like, man, it was my idea. I didn't get the idea anywhere. Nobody influenced my decisions. It's all me. All right, I'm signing off here. Be good to yourself, everybody. Be good to me. Click that subscribe and click the like button. I promise, CIA, FBI, police, nobody's going to show up at your house for clicking those buttons. Nobody's going to know either. I won't even know.